fantastic job at not getting Wakefield relegated for a while. He's always been kind of the underdog coach of the Challenge Cup as well, hasn't he? So, we've
but I don't know if we carry it on a sustained level for a sustained period of time. I mean, it's one thing, isn't it, to get to a Challenge Cup final, to get through your mid-late games and that sort of thing. And I think that's where he excels. But, for 2-3 years, I don't know.
So you're sort of saying like he is an underdog coach in the short term, but does he build the underdog to become not, what's the opposite of an underdog? I don't know.
The thing is anybody if he galvanizes a team, and takes them to the top, they're not going to get promoted this year. But what's going to happen is what happened at Salford, where Ian Watson got all this talent, put together a team, and all the other teams went, "Oh, I'll have him." Same thing happened at London.
Well, we already saw that at Bradford last year as well. All the young players that they were bringing through that were able to beat Leeds in the Challenge Cup last year are all at Hull KR now, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's the thing. That is what's again. Unless you've got someone with a bit of money to be able to go, you can stay here. We're going to build it around you. Have a little bit more money, and because again, I don't begrudge any rugby league player going somewhere else for money, and I will never be upset if a rugby league player that I love leaves Leeds to go get some more money, because you've got a short playing game. And anything can happen at any point. So if any club I don't care if you've played for Leeds for all your life, if any club is going to offer you more money, then you've got to take it. But you can sell the idea to a kid of, we're going to build this team around you. You're going to be here playing your own game. Going to do this, but you've got to give them a bit more if Leeds or Wigan are coming back and offering 10, 15 grand more.
Well, yeah. Well, even if they're offering less, but saying you'll get to play in Super League and you'll get to have the security of this job's less likely to disappear.
Yeah.
To be fair.
And that. Sorry.
No, go on. Finish point.
No, that's just what I think. There's this dream in every player. I'm just so sick of all the ex-players and everything going, we've got to have Bradford in Super League. And it's like, well, be realistic about it. Have a plan for it. Because it's not going to happen if you just say it. It's an easy way for Alex, what's his name, to get the crowd geared up. Like, just when we played that game, but I think it was just like pissed me off because it's just meaningless. Nothing happens unless you do it, and nobody's coming in to save Bradford. And if they did, nobody would trust them because too many people have messed it up.
Yeah,
I'm really trying not to swear today.
I'll always remember going to a Bradford game the year that they went down, and there was like a young bloke, say mid-20s, and his uncle who was mid-50s maybe, and the uncle was having a go at the standard of the play. And the younger guy was like, "But Uncle Jack, we're not good anymore. We're not in grand finals anymore. Do you not realise it's not back then? You can't judge these players like the Leslie Vainicolo and Shotton. We're just not that good anymore, Uncle Jack."
No.
But also, right, so people say, the game would be better for, having Bradford in, a good Bradford. But what about those people that remember when Hunslet were a great team or Batley were a great team? Should we... I
mean, they're all dead, but...
I don't think people that really remember Batley. That was in the 1960s, Matt.
No,
not the 1820s.
Yeah, no, exactly, yeah. No, you're right. It's like, where do we go with these kind of nostalgia lines? Yeah, I agree, Sarah.
Widnes were great in the 80s. We should have them back.
Well, exactly,
Bradford got special treatment because A, Nigel Wood had a part of it, and B, they had Odsell.
No, Tom. A, that was it. Odsell was not. Odsell was only a special thing because of Nigel Wood making it a special thing. Because, the RFL were quite happy for not supporting Swinton to keep hold of Station Road, and Station Road hosted more semi-finals, I think, than any ground other than Central Park for years and years and years in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. It was a staple for Challenge Cup semi-finals at Station Road, Swinton, and maybe not the 80s, but that went without anyone thinking twice about it.
But Bradford were bailed out in, was it the 60s that they were totally bailed out by the league as well?
I think it was it early 70s, but
maybe.
Yeah.
I know it was the cause of rude songs and things in my youth, but obviously the actual thing happening was before my time.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about
to all the Bradford fans listening, all three of you. I'm sorry.
Is that no? That's all the Bradford fans.
What's next, Mark?
I would love a Bradford's a city, isn't it? So I would love a strong Bradford, a strong team in that city. I think it would be a good thing for our game, but we don't have it right now. And like you say, it needs money or a solid plan, or probably quite a bit of both, for us to have that. But that shouldn't take away from the fact that John Kay has actually done quite a decent job there with very limited resources and very stupid off the field crap that everyone's had to deal with, and he's the longest serving coach they've had for a while, so good luck to Uncle Two Skulls. But let's talk about what's happening in our time and talk about this week in coronavirus. And on the 2nd of June we had an update from the RFL about its guidance to community clubs in line with the latest government advice around coronavirus. So this was about practicing of individual skills and fitness activities. The participation of activity with family members from the same household is permitted, whilst players and coaches may also participate in sessions of no more than 6 people, with social distancing rules observed. I'm not sure how that would work, but that's obviously in line with the government guidelines. So sessions of more than 6 people are only permitted on the basis that the attendees are divided into separate groups that number or fewer. Equipment, including balls, should be regularly sanitised, so regularly sanitise your balls, kids. Hand hygiene practices should be in place, and the playing of any games, whether small-sided or full, is not permitted. The guidance dictates avoiding meeting in busy or overcrowded areas, while coaches are encouraged to listen to the views of children and young people about their activities. So it's basically was the RFL coming out and reaffirming the changing government guidelines, how that applies to the sport, and kind of saying, don't think you can start playing games, but do socially distance, very much clean.
You can do everything with rugby league apart from rugby league. So don't touch each other when you're training. Don't go more than 2 meters away from each other. Every time you chuck a ball, make sure you sanitise it.
Clean your balls regularly.
So I think basically what Mighton have come out and said is...
Hold on, Sarah. Well, Sarah, are you going to come out with something sensible here, or are you going to make jokes about cleaning your balls regularly? Because I thought we were clear that the...
I am not discussing how often you should be cleaning your balls. That's a matter of,
Me and Mark will just discuss it for a bit longer then.
That's fine. I regularly tell the boys that they should be cleaning the balls, but that's different. I'm not getting into it with you guys.
But the serious side of it, what Mighton obviously have had kind of their guidance and conversation, Sarah?
Yeah, so they've said that they're looking, well, certainly with Joshua's age group, they are looking to get some training back happening shortly. It can't be at the club, and I don't know I'm not sure why it can't be held at the club at the moment. But there's a field out the back of us where they've often done some training when the club's been busy. So there is talk that they'll go there and have the kids in 3 groups, so the forwards, the backs, and then probably the half-backs and hookers. And I think it'll be more fitness-based and skills.
And I think that for the younger age groups at the community clubs is actually a bit of a blessing, because we do talk about that kind of being more important for the young kids than whether they win or lose. But as soon as you put them in that environment, they want to play against someone and beat them, don't they? But when you're saying this is the only rugby you can do, kids, getting the skills up, I think that could be a real benefit to the young guys.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Joshua's kicking in lockdown has come on massively, because that's the only thing he's been able to do.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. So many of the sort of coaching drills you see online are passing and kicking based, aren't they?
Yeah.
And and that can only encourage better ball playing, really.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know whether the plan is to have, like, certainly towards the beginning, probably sessions that aren't full skill based.
Yeah.
But yeah, just getting their fitness up again, because obviously, they had all the pre-season where they were working on fitness, and then first match of the season, and then that's been it. So, match fitness will have gone again in the same way as it will for the professionals.
Yeah, no, totally fair point. Yeah, so at least the community clubs with this guidance can kind of get that match fitness together, whereas the professional clubs will be relying on the players to do that for themselves, because they can't do it at the club facilities with club staff, because that would be breaking furlough rules. So we didn't have much.
Last week, did you talk about the fact that clubs have been told that if players are officially training, they're at furlough?
Yeah,
I think that came out after.
Yeah, like Sarah says, that was kind of a development during the week, but it's kind of, I think we knew that already, didn't we? It's not like a new thing. I think it's just a reminder. I think clubs were maybe hoping for some sort of leniency on that rather than anything else, weren't they?
Yeah. I mean, they've already sort of like been touting the rules a little bit based on the fact that some players have been doing podcasts and things like that under the club brand.
Wigan have had players going into Robin Park and using the facilities, but with no official club sanction and no official club equipment to do so, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So they were just using the playing field, which is a community facility as well, so Wigan Rugby League facility. So.
Just about keeping on the right side of the rules.
And I think that's probably what's been happening everywhere. I only know the more ins and outs of what's gone on at my club, because you follow it closer, I guess. But I assume similar things have been going on elsewhere.
So, is it me now?
There was a couple of sort of NRL-based coronavirus link stories on the 5th of June, Sarah. Do you want to run us through those?
Yeah, just once. Hang on, my screen's frozen. There we go. So 20 News Bulldogs have been handed 25,000 suspended fine for breaching the strict coronavirus biosecurity measures which are in place in the NRL. The breach notice was issued after Bulldogs legend Terry Lamb shook a number of current players' hands before training on Thursday, with the club deemed to have broken the rules inadvertently.
I'm sorry. Just before it. All right, lads. Oh shit.
yeah.
But one thing I want to say is,
but how many players' hands did he shake before he thought, oh fuck? Because I saw my uncle in the car park of the supermarket, and my uncle came to me to shake my hand, and then was like a yard away from me. I was like, oh shit, we can't do that. And
but who grassed him up? That's the thing.
I bet there were photos.
Yeah. So my question is not related to the story at all. What the fuck would you have to do with the RFL to get a £25,000 fine? Like,
well, it's a suspended fine. So every fine suspended in rugby league. Let's remember.
And actually, what do they have to do to get it imposed? Do they have to go around shaking hands again?
I think there would have to be another inadvertent breach or deliberate breach.
Yeah.
But I mean, how fucking stupid is this? It is just daft.
I just like the fact that you're shaking hands and you're going into a full contact sport.
No, I appreciate what you're saying, Dom, but Terry Lamb's not part of their quote-unquote
I understand.
bubble.
I understand. Don't get me wrong.
That's where the issue is, that someone from outside of the bubble came in.
I know, that's fine.
Why was he allowed in anywhere then?
But that's it. Why is he even there? He said he was he couldn't help himself but congratulate Kieran Foran on his upcoming milestone. I think it was his 200th game in the NRL or something. But I don't know. Send him a fucking tweet.
via WhatsApp nowadays.
Exactly, Sarah. Exactly.